Jack Eichel does not break into the top five on the NHL Network's top 20 centers list, but he does move up from number 8 to number 6. And there's no argument here about the players in front of him. We talk about the top centers, Jack among those, next on Lockdown Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Tony Cardasco, a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, the host of the Believe in Vegas podcast. I'm also a guest on the Big Mountain podcast today, talking UNLV Rebel football. Check it out. And he is Chris Golick, the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports and the collectibles editor for the Hockey News. Now, coming up ahead, we've got the news about Jack Eichel, ranked number 6 overall center. Confidence level, what is it like for the VGK front office? What do the fans think and such? And did VGK let Victor Olofsson, get away for the cheap? On the cheap, of course, that's coming up ahead today. Thanks for making us your first listen. And we are brought to you today by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com. It is FanDuel. It is football season. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So 10 years into the NHL career for Jack Eichel, right? 10 years now. It's hard to believe. He is now one of the elite players and centers here in the National Hockey League. He comes off of his best campaign statistically here for VGK and his best season ever, close to the century mark, 28 goals, 66 assists. He actually shot the puck 45 fewer times, Chris. 45 fewer times. I had to look that up. Then in the 23-24 season, and NHL Network's top 20 centers list came out yesterday, and Eichel was ranked 6th behind Connor McDavid, Nathan MacKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, Alexander Barkov, and Sidney Crosby. Some might argue that Eichel could pass by the start of next season because he's now 38 years old. And I want to get your thoughts here on the top players, and then Eichel checking in at number 6.
I think if you're starting a hockey team now in a vacuum, if you're going to pick between Eichel and Crosby, anyone's taking Eichel, just age and longevity and everything like that. Crosby, amazing talent. I don't need to spend a lot of time explaining all the accolades that Crosby has, but he's 38 years old and, maybe he's got 2-3 more years left. I don't know what his situation is, but definitely next year after, I think Eichel can easily get into that top 5. And no disrespect to Crosby, it's just about the age. But otherwise, the list seems pretty solid. I took a peek at Leon Draisaitl's numbers just to maybe make Eichel has a Stanley Cup comparison and Leon Draisaitl doesn't. But, I mean, last 4 seasons, 106, 128, 110. And then in the COVID-shortened 56-game season, he puts up 84 points, 110, 105 in the 2 previous seasons. So played at a greater than 100-point pace per 82-game season for the last 6 years of his career. So I'm not putting Jack ahead of Leon Draisaitl just based on that. But great to see Eichel moving up. Great to see the respect that he does have around the National Hockey League. He's earned it.
Yeah, I thought for sure he'd be a top 5 center when this list came out. But, again, Sidney Crosby, I just read an article recently about Jake Ginsel talking about Crosby in Pittsburgh. He gets mobbed wherever he's at. He makes sure that he does everything for every fan, never takes any time off. He's a true professional. And maybe he's got another 4 or 5 years in him.
He definitely might. And his locker room regimen, his weight, his workout weight room and all that is just top notch still, even given this stage of his career. So he's taking care of his body well to put himself in a Jaromir Jagr territory. Maybe he'll play into his 60s as far as professional hockey goes. Probably not in the NHL, but maybe somewhere else down the road. But Crosby, I mean, listen, you look at his point totals 91, 94, 93, 84, 62, 47, and then 100-point season in 2018-19. Wins back-to-back Stanley Cups, 15, 16, 16, 17, another cup in 08, 09. We can keep on going on and on and on about all the great things that Crosby has done in his career. And in 2004, 2005, with the Rimouski Oceanic of the QMJHL, he's also a champion. So there you go.
Well, when
You
you
haven't brought
look
up the
at,
Q in a long time, Tony. That's a long time we've talked about the Q on the show.
I know it's been a minute since we brought up the Q. Thanks for doing that, of course. But he's built a reputation, Crosby. There are some parallels here because he perhaps moves in at number 5 based on his past reputation. And when you look at Jack Eichel, he's building a reputation of his own.
He really is, and he's getting past his older reputation from Buffalo and everything. And again, I mean, it's been a minute, so I'll bring it up. Eichel's been nothing but a model citizen since coming to Southern Nevada. He has literally checked every single positive box. I can't think of one moment since Jack has been here where there's a little bit of cringe, where there's a little bit of, oh boy, here comes his past moments with the Sabres. I think there was one game. I don't know if it was the first game the first season when he played here, and that's just briefly the site, whatever it was. But there was one friggin' game when I did see him like on the bench with his head down, just not engaged at all. And I don't think he was trying to be a bad teammate. I think he was just down on himself and trying to get himself going. And literally, I have to think deeply before I can even get to that moment in my head. So again, Eichel done everything well, and it's just hopefully just the start. I mean, it's we haven't brought up we're a month and a half now, almost 2 months without an extension for Eichel. So hopefully we're just scratching the surface of his Vegas career right now.
Yeah, I was going to say we have not seen what he's like at the bargaining table, so who knows there. But
I'm hoping it's a non-starter, but who knows, man.
We've got Nate McKinnon, 3 consecutive 100-point seasons. That's phenomenal. Draisaitl did move up a spot. Barkov wins another cup. Austin Matthews falls to number 7 behind Jack Eichel, but he's got 30 goals in each of his 9 seasons in the NHL.
Get out of the second round, bro.
These guys they're aging a little, though, when you look at it, right? 10 years in the league now for Jack Eichel.
Yeah, no, that's crazy to think about. And both players you mentioned earlier, McKinnon belongs where he belongs. Barkov belongs where he belongs. And Austin Matthews dropping basically behind Jack Eichel, I think makes a lot of sense. Austin, great scorer. No one's going to ever take that away from him. Although maybe he was a product of Mitch Marner. Maybe Mitch Marner was the reason Austin Matthews can score 60, 70 goals. Hopefully we see something similar happen with someone in Vegas with Mitch Marner's arrival. But, Matthews, at the end of the day, he's great in the regular season, but cannot lead his team, deep into the playoffs right now. And that's what his legacy is at the moment. Hopefully that changes for Austin. He's a phenomenal player and a lot of great talent in Toronto, but losing Mitch Marner, I don't think it's going to do Austin Matthews' legacy any favors. Maybe this is where Toronto fans might have got lucky that Arizona is no longer a thing, because at some point Austin Matthews might have wanted to go home.
A couple of players stood out to me because they were not ranked in the past, but now they move up and they're into the top 20. A guy that I feel deserves just a tad more respect, Tage Thompson, goes from unranked to number 18. You've got Celebrini now. He checks in from the Sharks at number 19. So those are 2 players, I think, the future perhaps of the NHL. But man, Tage Thompson, and I think he's finally going to get his shot there for Team USA, which would be great.
Tage Thompson, first player you brought up. I mean, I enjoy watching his game. 94 points in the 22-23 season, 72, which is a bit of a drop-off, I guess. Well, 56 in the previous season. I mean, Tage Thompson's defect, if we're going to use a Moneyball reference, his defect is that he's a member of the Buffalo Sabres.
It took all of 9.5 minutes for a Moneyball reference, bro. You're slipping.
Yeah, no, we're checking a lot of boxes today. Celebrini down as low as he is, but a lot of Blackhawk fans are going to be like, what the heck with no Bedard, I guess. But Bedard's got to kind of earn his way up, I guess.
Another thing that could seal, the legacy of an Eichel could be winning another cup, correct?
Oh, God, yeah. It'd be great.
Yeah. that could definitely put him in Hall of Fame status, perhaps.
Easy.
Coming
Piss
up,
off the Buffalo fans this early in the morning at 6 a.m. They can't handle this.
coming up next, where does VGK sit on the Athletics front office confidence list? We'll discuss that when we return on Locked On Golden Knights. August the 26th, it is officially FanDuel Futures Day, which Chris absolutely adores. It's a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason bunches.
I love that. This is good. I do love this.
For just 24 hours, I know you're going to be on your application there trying to get in there. FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling for your MVP, who is that going to be? If you're eyeing a long shot divisional winner or ready to crown the Cincinnati Bengals your Super Bowl champion before week one, I threw that in there, before week one even kicks off. This is your moment, folks. You could take a flyer on the MVP list. You can crown your champion in August, or you can parlay your division winner dark horses. So visit the FanDuel app today. Start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is one day only. Go to FanDuel, FanDuel.com, and play your game. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen each and every day. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. And Chris, football season fast approaching. UNLV in action in a couple of days. That's hard to believe. The season kicking off in week 0 against Idaho State. I'll save one of my takes for tomorrow. You know why? Because tomorrow's WTF day. And I have opinions and I have words. Got a lot of words. How confident are you in VGK's front office, fans? The annual athletic list that is graded on roster building, cap management, drafting / development. You like that slash move? Trading, free agency, and vision. It is out now. And boy, we've been through a lot of lists this summer. I was just thinking about that. But VGK is ranked 6th. And of all of those categories.
Who's ahead? Do you have that list?
I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Just relax. Number 1, I think Florida. Number 2, Dallas. Number 3, the Hurricanes. Number 4,
What?
Tampa.
Okay.
Number 5, Montreal.
Okay.
Okay, so of all of those categories, which category did VGK get dinged?
Which were the categories? What were the choices?
Oh, my goodness. Here we go again.
Give me the list.
Roster building, cap management, drafting / development.
Oh, okay. You can stop there.
Trading.
Drafting / development is where the ding is going to come. But you know what? Who cares? Like, draft development. But if you look at the roster composition, what the draft development didn't develop internal pieces. It developed trades for Mark Stone and Jack Eichel and so many more players on this roster. That's the part that matters here. But hey, Golden Knight fans, I mean, if Eric Brandstrom was still a thing, who I think is bouncing around third D pairings around the league, Vancouver, I think last I heard that was part of the Mark Stone trade. If Cody Glass was still here, who's played on, I think, 3 teams since the Golden Knights, and hey, Peyton Krebs, he's killing it right now. I mean, listen, could you imagine if the second line was some combination of Krebs and Cody Glass with Eric Brandstrom on the second D pairing right now? I mean, what are we even talking about here?
Oh, that's funny. So when you look at the grading,
develop them though. They're coming. They're going to bounce out. They're going to be great in 6 years.
Draft and develop. We didn't even talk about the draft yet. Draft and development. The public graded them a D. The fan base a D-. Fan base knows what up there with the Golden Knights. And then across the board, pretty much in the A range. So cap management, what cap? An A from the public, A- fan base. Trading, they do a good job, obviously, in making some deals. A+, they ranked second there amongst the public, and an A for the fan base. Free agency, A+ is across the board. They've done very well in that category. And then the total A- from the public and B+ from the fan base. And so the Golden Knights, obviously, there's a lot of confidence there in the front office. But why are you knocking some of those teams ahead of VGK? Just curious.
You said Carolina.
Yeah,
They
number
haven't
3.
won a cup since what, 06, something.
Yeah, but within
And
those categories, I mean, they're pretty strong,
within
right?
those categories, the category is winning. I mean, that's the category, and you have all these subplots and everything. I get all that, but Carolina, I mean, they're good. Like Toronto can't get out of the second round. Well, Carolina can get out of the second round, but they pretty much have the same number of wins in the third round over the last 20 years. As crazy as that sounds, with the Hurricanes being in the conference final 2 or 3 times in the last 5 years or whatever it's been. Montreal, I will definitely put in. They're in the right place. I mean, whether they should be ahead of Vegas, whatever, but I'm telling you, Montreal is building something that's going to be very special. That as early as this year or next year, you might see it. Carolina, Montreal. There's one other team that called
Dallas up there.
Dallas again. Dallas got a good regular season team, and they
have the GM of the year every year.
Yeah, right. Lock it in. I mean, listen. Here's how you measure the success of the Golden Knights. How many clowns are out there? Starting with our boy Jay Fitz, who's too much of a chicken to come on the show and have a conversation.
Okay. Who's for the fans that don't know, who's Jay Fitz, man?
Jay Fitz is an idiot. That's who Jay Fitz is. Fitz is he's a San Jose guy that keeps on making comments about the Golden Knights and their mortgage in the future and doom and gloom, and it's going to be a terrible team in the offseason, and then they win another division, and then they're in the playoffs and they win a cup. And ultimately, where I'm going with this, there are so many people about the Golden Knights. Oh, they're mortgaging their future, and they're doing all this stupid stuff with their draft picks, and they have no prospects, and blah, blah, blah. A dark day is coming for the Golden Knights. And then finally, in the year 2032, it might actually happen. And they're going to be like, oh, I told you so. I told you so. After the after the Golden Knights had 14 years of being a Stanley Cup contender. So that's the testament to how good the front office is. They don't play by the traditional rules. You joke about there not being a salary cap. Well, it feels like that. And yes, you have the LTIR stuff. Fine. It's the same rules for everybody. The Golden Knights use them better. Like, who cares? Whatever. But the front office is right up there with Florida, with Tampa, with the other teams that have been really successful in the last decade of the NHL. I mean, they're number 3 just because Florida's won it twice and Tampa's won it 3 times.
Yeah, so Dallas number 1. I mean, Florida number 1, Dallas number 2. Already you can vote for, who is it, Jim Nill there in Dallas?
Yeah, no, he's got it already. He's
already won a GM of the year.
Congratulations.
I'm looking at the division here. Surprise there at number 8, the Sharks. Sharks are slowly building something.
See, I told you, Sharks, they're coming. Here they come.
Yeah.
They're going to be great.
Number 8.
That's going to be great. Go Sharks, go.
Number 18 is Gary. Had to throw that in there over the summer. Number 21, Edmonton. And Edmonton, of course, the same as VGK. They are not developing players, and they don't even care about the draft like VGK.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, Edmonton can't put the right pieces around the 2 of the greatest players in the world. And what were McDavid 1, is Draisaitl 2 or 3? Where is Draisaitl on the centers list? They got the first and third best center in the world on the team, and they can't get the right players around him. I certainly am buying that. Sharks, I mean, I will give some respect to. I think it feels like they are building the future the right way, and Celebrini is going to be a special talent. There's some good pieces around, but 3 or 4 years from now will be the true test to see how good of a job the Sharks did at building pieces around. But again, the Golden Knights find ways to do it without the draft and without having a big stockpile of draft picks, although Golden Knights do have a nice chunk of draft picks right now. So they can definitely have a lot of fun this season. And I mean, the Golden Knights, literally, as long as this Eichel extension gets worked out, they have a Stanley Cup window till about 2032. And that's before we even talk about what moves they're going to make in 2028 and 2029 and 2030 to keep this team relevant into 2040, Tony.
Some of the other teams here from the Pacific, Anaheim ranked 22nd. You've got, Toronto
See, I
outside
would
of
put
the
Anaheim
division.
over San Jose, but
Yeah, Toronto 24th. I had to
that's about
throw
right.
them in there. Vancouver 26th. The
Who's the
Kings
lowest?
27. The Kraken 29. I don't know. I have to look that up. I have to see who's the lowest.
Buffalo. Gotta be Buffalo.
Yeah, it's got to be Buffalo.
Gotta
But
be Buffalo.
the Kraken in the Pacific
But they won the
Division.
Eichel trade. Go get him, Peyton Krebs.
Coming up next, IKEA line member Victor Olofsson has a new home. We'll talk about that when we return on Locked On Golden Knights. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head out to a Major League Baseball ball game with your friends, with your family? Maybe it's a game and that you want to see, and it's game day, and suddenly you realize you want to be in the stands, and that's exactly where Gametime comes in. It is the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, on beers, perhaps on drinks, merch, and even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it all possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to the first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views that you can check out, and of course, the lowest price guarantee imaginable, and it takes the worry out of buying. And Gametime is the official ticketing partner of Locked On Major League Baseball. That's right. Makes it easy to browse the app for an exciting upcoming Major League Baseball game. And of course, anytime you want to go see the Yankees, that's the team to go see. Seat views right in front of you there as you check it out on the app, so you know exactly where you'll be. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you'll get $20 off of the first purchase. Again, use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL, $20 off of your first purchase. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Of course, Chris looking for those Backstreet Boys tickets there at the Sphere. They keep adding dates.
We're in what?
I was just going to say, man, you are ready to go.
Someone said they should play the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and I actually thought that'd be kind of cool. I'm not into that world at all, but
No,
I mean, especially compared to what they've done, a lot of the halftime shows, I think that would be very entertaining. Actually,
they're on fire. This is one of the best.
I think it'd be entertaining. I really do. I really do.
And the tickets are expensive. You can buy them, I think, starting today or tomorrow. And you can buy them for the new dates. They released a ton of more dates because it's been so successful, and very cool to see that.
I think the Sphere's finally started to make money. I think I
hope
somewhere.
So. Let's hope so, right?
It's magnificent. I mean, I've never been inside it, but all the accolades and everything. It's Is YouTube coming back? Or are they done?
I think they're done.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't use a lot of animations the second part of the show. They just wanted us to listen to the music.
They're a rock band,
what?
Of course.
Yeah, but you know what?
The Sphere is not that venue. I get it.
It's not that venue. Okay, so as expected, we've talked about this, and I believe that Colorado and the Avalanche were the number one target for Victor Olofsson. So he does sign a one-year contract, $1.575 million. Pretty successful season here in Vegas with 29 points, 56 games. And he's going to be a very strong depth piece this upcoming season for the Avalanche. And, the fans really liked him here. You could see the reaction there on the X from most of the fans that they're going to miss him. I'll miss him because I can't use my IKEA line anymore. So, but in any event, they're going to miss him, I think. Yeah, he was a good depth piece here.
I think most people were kind of over Olofsson until they saw that the Golden Knights are paying $420,000 more for the services of Brandon Saad. I think that's where a lot of the question marks came in. One, I think Olofsson, we all thought he was trying to get a multi-year deal. He used his time here in Vegas as a bridge somewhere, and he didn't build a bridge. He built himself another 1-year deal, unfortunately for him. So lands in a good place. The Avalanche, of course, are a Stanley Cup, among the top 7 or 8 Stanley Cup front runners right now. I mean, no one really is running away with it, but they're definitely in that mix with Florida and Tampa and the Golden Knights and the Oilers and Stars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have to say the Panthers, say them again. Talk about 5-on-5 here, and I had a few discussions when I brought up Olofsson as a 5v5 liability, and I used plus minus as a reference for someone else, and then it was pointed out Olofsson was a plus 17. Okay, and Brandon Saad is a plus 6. So you look at Brandon Saad when he was with the Blues, who were not great the last few years, minus 14, minus 8, minus 4. You look at Olofsson, who last season with Buffalo, 51 games, only a minus 1. That's actually, it looks like a pretty good improvement. But then minus 23, minus 16, minus 23 in the previous 3 seasons. So ultimately where I'm going with this is Saad and Olofsson might be the same defensive liability. On paper, I feel like I like Brandon Saad, the player, better as far as corner battles and just going to the dirty areas in front of the net, kind of being that grinder type. But I don't know. I mean, this is the first moment where I'm like, maybe the Golden Knights might have missed on this just because Olofsson took $400K less. And in a vacuum, $1.6 million for Olofsson, $2 million for Brandon Saad. Who would you rather have?
Tanner Pearson.
Okay, there you go. Bingo.
I'd much rather have Tanner
It's
Pearson.
Pearson Thursdays.
Yeah. No, Tanner Thursdays. Alliteration.
Tanner
problem.
Thursdays. There we go.
Yeah. He did have he's got the record here. He's got a record with VGK. Did you know that?
Retire his number.
I think the statute should be going up there.
Yeah.
And definitely, well, at least one at the IKEA there off the 215. The road point streak, 10 straight games. He scored points December 4th through January the 23rd, and that's tops in VGK land. So he leaves with a record.
Little Big League, the announcer pulls out all these like asinine stats. He's the best hitter and 4th overall in Major League Baseball when facing left-handed pitchers in day games south of the Mason-Dixon line. I mean, what are we doing here?
And I can't use the goal less son line.
Yeah,
anymore.
no, I mean, listen, Olofsson is who he is, and while his 5v5 stats maybe don't look as bad, just you watch the player out there, and he definitely does not look the Cassidy part. Cassidy wants win your battles, win your races. Olofsson doesn't do either one of those. And again, that's just who he is. Olofsson is a sniper. Olofsson is now a poor man's Dorofeev possibly, or Olofsson is who, thrives to become Dorofeev one of these days. Dorofeev isn't necessarily the best grinder on the Golden Knights, but he's willing to go to the corners. He's willing to engage in a race. He's willing to drive hard to the net, and you really didn't see that out of Olofsson. So maybe Brandon Saad does check a couple more boxes as far as Bruce Cassidy's grinder mentality.
They like him
but
so
in a
much.
vacuum, this is the first one where I'm like, all right. And don't get me wrong, if it took until August the 21st for me to kind of shake my head in an off-season move, the front office is still doing pretty well.
Okay.
My confidence hasn't dropped.
No, not since the last segment, at least.
No.
The thing about Olofsson is that, again, he's a bottom 6 guy. But as we saw here, he could play.
He can't be bottom 6 because he'd be on the 4th line. He's third liner. That's it. He's third line. And that's not a good place for him either.
What we see out of him, though, is that he could play on the left or the right side.
Yeah.
So I think that helps him and his marketability. And then, of course,
he has no marketability. It took him until August 20th to sign a contract. He has no marketability whatsoever, Tony.
Okay, there's a certain goalie out there. It's past August the 20th. It has not latched down.
Oh, Samsonov got to be going to the Shanghai Dragons. Got to be.
Dude, that would be. I would have
got to be going. I can't wait to watch the video thing.
We're gonna have to watch.
I can't wait for the video.
He has the Samsonov luggage, and he's like walking all the way.
Oh my God, I'm going to
Shanghai, whatever.
Right now. I'm doing this before this goes on, so no one steals this from me.
Okay. And it was the first time in the playoffs last season, too, for Olofsson. So perhaps a little bit more experience for Brandon.
Yeah,
Saad.
just take the show home. I'm working right now. Go ahead.
I am. Don't forget, tomorrow it is WTF Day. And you're probably saying right now, WTF with today's show. But tomorrow, make sure that you line up all of your comments. Leave them there for us Golick, what are you putting out on at TD Chris G right now? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing Victor Olofsson. I'm doing
Samsonov?
Samsonov with the Mortal Kombat Raiden eyes, and he's going to Shanghai.
Okay, he's definitely going to Shanghai. We appreciate you tuning in, especially our everydayers. Subscribe today if you haven't yet to this YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. From a man, Chris Golick, Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas.
All right,
We'll see you again tomorrow for WTF Day, and please take care.